For the longest time, leadership was all about talking at people, right? Just broadcasting a message and hoping it sticks. Well, that old one-way street, it's a dead end. Today, we're going to tear down that old model. We're going to become architects of something way more powerful, genuine engagement. So let's dive into this framework and see how we can turn our stakeholders from just an audience into a real alliance.
And this really gets to the heart of the whole shift. The old way treated everyone, your team, your customers, your partners, like passive recipients. You'd make the plan, send out the memo, and just cross your fingers. But the new way, it's all about seeing them as active contributors, as people who are essential to the process right from the get-go. It's a total, fundamental change in perspective.
So why even bother with a shift? It sounds like more work, doesn't it? Well, it's not just about being nice or making people feel good, it's about being way more effective. Let's dig into the actual, tangible rewards you get when you really embrace a collaborative approach. First up, it fosters trust, and I mean real, deep-seated trust. When you consistently and genuinely ask for people's input on the decisions that actually affect their lives, you're sending such a powerful message. You're saying, hey, your voice matters here. Your perspective is valuable. And that, right there, is the bedrock of any strong, trusting relationship. And then there's accountability. Just think about it. It's basic human nature. When you have a hand in building something, you care about whether it succeeds. By bringing stakeholders into the fold, they stop being critics sitting on the sidelines and become co-owners of the outcome. They're accountable because, well, they help shape the whole thing. And all of this leads to a third huge benefit: way stronger alignment. See, when you're constantly consulting people, it's like you're all sharing the same compass. It makes sure that everyone, from the person on the front lines to the folks in the C-suite, understands the goals and is pulling in the exact same direction. It just demolishes those silos and creates one unified force.
So there you have it. That's the powerful trio of benefits. When you truly engage people, you get trust, you build shared accountability, and you create this incredible alignment. These are not small wins, believe me. These are absolute game changers for any organization. Okay, so let's get to the very heart of this new mindset. Let's look at what all of this is building towards, what the ultimate goal really is. We're talking about making that critical shift to creating a genuine sense of shared ownership. And what do we even mean by shared ownership? Well, it's this. It's that state where people don't just feel like they work for your organization, they feel like they are a real part of it. It's creating an environment where people feel truly heard, deeply respected, and are personally invested in seeing the whole thing succeed. This, my friends, is the gold standard of engagement.
All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now it's time for the fun part, the how. Let's actually get our hands dirty and build an engagement toolkit. 4 really practical techniques you can start using like tomorrow to bring your stakeholders right into the heart of the decision-making process. And look, these aren't just buzzwords. These are real tools. Let me give you an example. Think about those collaborative workshops. Imagine a company wants to improve a product. The old way, engineers guess what users want. The new way, they host a workshop. They bring in engineers, designers, and a few actual customers. And in a single afternoon, they don't just find problems, they actually co-create solutions that everyone is pumped about. Now that's the difference between just telling people and truly involving them. Now this is where the real art of leadership comes in. It's a balancing act, right? On one hand, you want to gather all this great input. That's inclusivity. But on the other hand, you still have to make sharp, timely decisions. That's efficiency. The real skill is designing a process that makes every voice feel valued while making sure all that amazing input gets channeled into a clear, strategic path forward. So as we start to bring this all home, let's tie it all together with that big idea we started with. This framework isn't about checking off boxes on a to-do list. It's about becoming an architect, someone who intentionally and thoughtfully designs and builds a structure for success, with engagement as the solid foundation. And in the end, it all comes back to this. This right here is the human outcome of all your hard work as an architect. It's about creating a culture where people feel heard, respected, and invested. When you get that right, all the other stuff, the trust, the accountability, the alignment, it all just follows naturally. So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. As you step into this new role as an architect of engagement, what's the very first foundation you're going to lay? Which tool from that toolkit will you pick up first? What conversation will you start? The blueprint is right here.
Now it's your turn to start building.